This is pretty cool. Here, let me get the lighting to be a little bit more spooky. Hey, this is a live stream where I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit, as you see in the description box, about the spooky kind of things. It's not really spooky at all. It's the thing that every wizard needs to know. And by wizard, I mean person who's just trying to learn as much as they can about themselves and be the best kind of person that they can. The number one thing, it's the description, it's the title of the video. Attention. Your attention forms your entire reality. And one of the biggest tools that you can use to direct your attention is a good notebook. And so I pulled out one of my good notebooks, and this was real genuine leather. It smells like a new wallet or a pair of boots. I love the way that it smells. And just to make sure that I love to write in... Okay, here's the deal. I always feel like I write better, or I'm more incentivized to write if I use tools that I like. So you can use just a regular old notebook like this. I use notebooks like this too. You don't have to have a fancy one, but I always find that the fancy... and a fancy pen really helps me want to actually write. It kind of helps the whole thing. So I've got this notebook here, and I was actually I was looking online earlier, and I was reading some things, and I thought I would write down some quotes from some different people from all different kinds of walks of life who kind of have the same sort of ideas on life, or the same kind of the thoughts on success and things, just to kind of show you life and everything. So let me go ahead and pull that out of this little notebook here. And welcome, guys. I hope that you're all having a good night. Of course, this is the Chili Mancer channel, and we're just having a good time talking about personal development and things. And today we're talking about attention, because it is the best tool that you can use as a person who's just trying to make the most out of your life and build your life into something better. I do have a few quotes I want to go over. The first one's it's Ralph Waldo Emerson. And this says, a man is what he thinks about all day. And so basically this is going into that idea that, whatever you think about, where you place your attention, that's where your universe is going to be, Also, Napoleon Hill said, what the mind of man can believe, it can achieve. So whatever you're capable of thinking of in your head, you are able to find a pathway to get there. That's the number one thing that, like positive thinkers try to say. Dr. Wayne W. Dyer said, the only limits that exist are the ones that you place on yourself. And I know that like we all have things that we can't change in life and things like that. But, we as people and the things that we can't accomplish, we do put limitations on ourselves. But whatever you can think of, you can pretty much accomplish. Bruce Lee said, as you think, so shall you become. David O. McKay said, your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. So you kind of see these themes going on. Basically, whatever you think of, that's how the universe works. You can kind of create your own reality. Now, I'm not saying that you should be delusional and like make up things that could never happen, nothing like that. But what I am saying is that, you do have the power to change your life. You have the power to cause active change not by your thoughts alone, but your thoughts can direct your actions, and those actions can make lasting change in the world around you. You are not powerless. You're definitely not alone. And while we have a few people here, before I go over some more quotes and things, I've got a message here. Let me read it. Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, so I am going to do some spicy stuff. Who do I have there in the viewers? I know I have a few viewers. I just wanted to see what you guys were doing. I ate some pasta earlier, some pancakes. Wanted to get ready for a good stream where I could have some nice spicy drops. It's kind of funny. I say wizards and all this stuff like that, but really what it is there are a lot of similarities between older, like medieval sort of philosophies, like Hermetic philosophies and things. Things that are really mystified and things, I think, a little bit too much. And then modern thoughts on psychology and self-help and self-awareness. And so I really like those synchronicities where they sync up. You know what I mean? Because there are like back in the day, the journal, for example. Back in the day, they used to call them grimoires, and you would put all your secrets in there, and you wouldn't let anybody see it, and it was this magical thing. Well, it's a journal. You know what I mean? It's a journal. We call them journals now, or a diary, or whatever you want to call it. But we don't let people see it. We would want somebody to burn it. You know what I mean? Because it's all of our thoughts and stuff in there, and we can use that to be better, to be more self-aware. I actually wrote down some notes about journaling. There's been studies that show that journaling has stress reduction properties. Just the act of journaling alone by itself can cause you to have less stress. It can have enhanced emotional intelligence. Basically, you're more aware of your emotions, and you're more aware of your impact that your emotions have on you and those around you. Improved self-awareness in general. And, of course, journals are a good conduit for organizing your thoughts, resolving inner conflicts, and fostering personal growth in general. So there's really a lot of benefits to making your own journal, even if it is a composition book or a notebook, or even just a packet of papers. Even if you just had some like cool cardstock that you liked, and you took it and you folded it in half, or whatever you wanted to do. The act of writing something down and keeping it in a place has a lot of benefits, and that's nothing magical. There's no secret or magical about it, but it does cause lasting change, which is kind of magic if you think about it. Also, visualization is one of my favorite things, but we'll get to that in a second. This is some extract that I made myself. So I'm going to put a few drops on my tongue, and then we'll talk about more cool stuff. That's a lot. Why am I doing it? All right, so I don't know if I should talk about it yet, but I am writing a book. I've been writing a book for the past year and a half. It's getting pretty close. I think that's getting warm. That is getting real warm. Charlie, what's up, dude? Ooh, that's getting warm. Today I'm talking. Ooh. Okay, willpower. It's so funny. Eating hot stuff is beneficial to mental health because it does force you to be in the moment, and it forces you to it takes a lot of willpower to do something that hurts. It's an amazing thing, and you can use it to do cool stuff too. If you're trying to set your intentions and like goal set and doing goal setting, and you're thinking about the things in the way that you would like the future to be, and you do something like this, that's a very strong physiological experience. Oh man, that's hot. I put a lot on my tongue that time, and I put it all over my mouth. But I can't just keep doing one drop at a time. Ooh. It's helped me, but I don't know exactly how and why. Not that I'm complaining. Yeah, it does help. It helps your willpower. It helps fight pain. Your brain sends out the good chemicals a little easier. Oh. And I feel like a stronger person when I have a higher tolerance. And if you can sit here and you can stop the panic feeling, if you can just breathe and relax and just let yourself feel the pain as a sensation and not as an alarm. Yeah. If you ignore the pain being an alarm and you just think about the way that it feels, It's a lot like when you're having a panic attack and the emotions are going and they keep stacking and it starts snowballing. If you can just breathe and calm yourself down, that's exactly how it works. Oh, this was very hot. I coated my whole mouth in this stuff. Oh. But yeah, it is. Doing this almost is like giving yourself a panic attack and forcing yourself to have to deal with it. Because now that I've objectively thought about that and forced myself to calm down, like the pain is still here, but the panic is gone. My lips are burning. My tongue is burning when I breathe. But I really do feel a lot more calm now. This is a really good tool when you are having a panic attack, I imagine. Because it does force you to be in the moment. It is kind of an overwhelming sensory experience. And that's a thing I was talking about that a lot of psychologists will talk about is mindfulness. You know, being aware and being in the present moment. Mindfulness is... The panic part is turning the camera on. Charlie, the panic part comes to me with the eating the hot stuff. The camera part doesn't bother me. That's the part that I'm not bothered by. Oh, hey, April. How's it going? Ooh, that's hot. So, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just writing down quotes. I'm going to go look for quotes and good advice, good information. I'll write them down in my book. I'll share them with you guys through videos and live streams. And wow, the more that I talk, the more that this burns. That is hot. You know, I was... one of the things I like to do is I like to talk to ChatGPT quite a bit. Just to kind of help me hash out ideas and organize my thoughts. It's really bad at coming up with new things, but it's great at organizing thoughts if you just info dump on it and then you ask it to organize in certain ways. Then it really does make connections internally, which is very helpful. The hot stuff, Charlie says, the hot stuff comes naturally to me, but I'm so freaking camera shy. It's gotten better, but it's still kind of nerve-wracking. Yeah, I imagine that. The first time I ever performed in front of an audience was at my middle school, and I played Green Day's When I Come Around with like a band of a couple of friends that I had. And the only thing burning right now is my lips, which is weird. Ooh, they're kind of puffy though. Wow. But I was up there playing the song, and I had never played in front of anybody or been up in front of anybody doing anything. My right leg just starts shaking so bad. It was like Elvis. I looked like Elvis shaking my leg. That was funny. After that, I don't really get stage fright anymore. I get rusty on camera. I do a lot of ums and uhs, but I don't really get scared of being on camera. I think since doing more videos this week, I think I've gotten a lot more comfortable being on video. But yeah, you know, mindfulness, and you know, hot peppers aren't the only way to do meditations like that. You can do different kinds of meditation. I meditate in different ways. But mindfulness practices help with stress reduction, helps with improved focus and the ability to act under pressure, and emotional regulation. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, is like, if you're having a problem with emotional regulation and you practice with hot peppers, you will be able to stop in the middle of something that's overwhelming easier than if you didn't practice with it, which is really cool. Man, that is still burning. Wow. Whew. I was earlier I was thinking about the alchemical process, and I was like, how would I be able to explain alchemy to somebody who thinks that it's about turning lead into gold? Because most people are like, that's charlatanism. You don't know what you're talking about. That's fake pseudoscience. And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. If you think alchemy is pseudoscience. I got this tattoo right here years ago. It's like a hermetic seal of light. That's what it's called, among many other things. It's an alchemical symbol that talks about the process of turning lead to gold. But that's not what it's really about. There's 4 steps in the alchemical process, and they're symbolized by colors. Colors, animals. There's a lot of different symbols for each step. But there are 4 steps. The first step is a black step, symbolized by black. It's called nigredo. The second step is the white step. It's the opposite of that. The third step is yellow step. And then the fourth step is the creation of the Philosopher's Stone. It's a reddening called rubedo. So these 4 steps are really, they've been wrapped in a lot of mystery and symbolism because these kind of thoughts were not really, they weren't okay in the past. You know, the church had a hold on everything. You couldn't have any kind of alternative philosophies or anything like that. So what I've done today is I decided to take and write down like one sentence for each of the steps that will encompass what the step really honestly is and what it means. So the nigredo step, which is the blackening step, is the step that it's symbolized by like a black crow, sometimes a skull, death, things like that. That's realizing that something in your life isn't working. Basically, something in your life is not good, and you realize it. Because when you're ignorant of it, you just have toxicity or whatever, you just are miserable and you don't know why. But then you realize that, wow, this is the thing that is bad in my life. The next step is called the albedo step. It's the whitening step, the leucosis. It is the seeking clarity step. It's where you clear away all of the chaos and you seek to look for the truth as opposed to the thing that you had been living with, the thing that has caused you the discomfort. Kind of the planning stages. You know what I mean? The planning stages of how could my life be better? It's the visualization stage. Now, citrinitas is the yellowing stage. That's when the transformation actually begins, when you start initiating that process, when you start actually doing that plan. That's the initiation of the change, feeling the first sparks of the transformation. Basically, that's the step whenever you start, like you've done the planning, now you're doing the work. And the last step is the rubedo step. That's the ending step. That's the dawn of new beginnings is what they call it. That's experiencing the sunrise of new possibilities. It's embracing the beginning of a transformed life, and it's really being able to believe in yourself and having that self-confidence really is what that is, because you have done the work, you've made the plans, you've done the work, and then you see the success, and you have the success, and that leads to self-confidence. It's always a constant process. You're always doing it. You're always finding something new to work on. You're always making new plans. You're always working on yourself, and you're always doing these things over and over again to build your confidence, to build who you are, to build your character, and to move forward and have plans and goals. Because what did I say the other day? It was that success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile goal. So as long as you have a goal and you're progressing toward it, even if you have failures and bumps along the way, you're going to be able to be a success as long as you're learning from something, as long as you are moving forward thinking, forward moving. It sounds almost too easy, but it's not. It's the way that it is. And self-confidence and the belief in yourself is the Philosopher's Stone. There are certain people who, like, if they have confidence, they can do anything. They can get anything done. If they can solve any plan because they have that process, that they can do. Yeah, that's pretty much all I was going to talk about today. Visualization is kind of like creating a portal. That's something I forgot to talk about. If you've ever studied, like, different visualization practices with, I don't know, there are a lot of different mindsets and different things where people practice visualization. And really what visualization does is it kind of just helps you form the basis of your plan. Like, if you wanted to drive to New York City, you would have to know that New York City was a thing first. So you got to think, hey, I want to go to New York. And that's what this is. That's what visualization is. Visualization is saying, like, if my life was how I want it to be, if I was happy, if I woke up and I was happy, and I looked and I opened my eyes and I looked around, what would I see? And then what would I get up and do? What would my life look like? What would I eat? How would I behave? And what do I have to do to make my life in harmony with that life? And once you start visualizing those things, then you can start seeing where you are, where you want to be, and then where those paths can converge. You can find a way to do anything that you want to do. You can do it. Like, and that's just not me blowing smoke. You know what I mean? Like, it's physically just how things how things work. And that's not me. That's all of these, like, philosophers and stuff throughout the years, like throughout decades and centuries and millennia. They've been saying the same stuff since Egypt. Henry David Thoreau. The world is but a canvas for the imagination. One of my favorites is Dr. Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I believe that too, Chili. I see you. Good to see you. And you know what? And the thing is, I'm not saying that I know everything. I'm not saying I'm anybody whatsoever. All I'm doing today is and with this channel, is just sharing the notes that I've taken, like the stuff that I've learned over the years. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing, like, all of these people are saying basically the same thing. And in all of their different religions, different cultures, different societies, different points in history. But they're all saying that, whatever you think about all the time is how your life will be. And then, that's it. Your thoughts control the world. Like, all these things. It's not like we have, like, the ability to, like, create whatever we think about it, but we can create pretty much whatever we think about. It's not magic. It's just the way that stuff goes. Dude, obviously, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but that's my whole thing, and I think I'll make I need to make some kind of like oh, you know what? I've got the Discord server. If you're in the Discord, I'll start posting different stuff like this. Maybe I'll make some memes or something you guys can share, or I'll share them, but I'll put like a daily quote or an inspirational quote. That way we can, kind of keep a running tally of all these things. And, like, I know that I need a reminder every single day. This isn't stuff that's intuitive. It's stuff that is, once you hear it, it's intuitive. But typically, Bruce Lee said, as you think, you shall become. And it's like, well, that doesn't seem intuitive. Usually what we think of is that, like, this is who I am. This is the world that I've been given. And then I've got to make it work. And it's like, the world happens to me. But if you think about it, like, you can't really think of it like the world happens to you, or you'll always be a victim of the world. But if you want to have personal power, and I'm not talking about, like, subjugating the world around us. I'm talking about being able to get up and take a shower every day and, like, take care of ourselves and clip our fingernails and brush our hair and, like, go to work. You know what I mean? Make money, have a house, like, live in a society. These things are not intuitive, especially these days. I think we all went through something very traumatic that we're not even mentioning a few years ago. And I know I did. I worked at a cable company during the time, and it was an internet company at the time when most people needed the internet the most, and they were all broke, and they were all very angry about it. And I was in the billing department. I had to hear about it. And it broke me. I did it for 2 years. And so I've been drifting around for another 2 years after that. Dude, it's been wild. But I'm looking to get better, and I'm looking to do this, to make notes, to do my, here, I'll make the notes in this from now on. This is on my amazing leather smelling notebook, and it's my own personal little journal, and I'll make all my notes and stuff in here. If you guys want to journal along with me, feel free to do that. I don't care if you've got like one of these notebooks or if you've got a fancy schmancy notebook. If you got a little sketchbook like this, I have a thing with notebooks. Okay, I like notebooks a lot, and so I've got a lot of them around. I'm a huge fan of journaling. I like zines. I like making little journals of my own, like folded paper, and like make my own tiny little notebooks. Those are really cool because you can photocopy them and then fold them back up and like share them and give them out. Those are really cool. Heck, maybe I might do that. Maybe I'll make a zine with a whole bunch of cool quotes, and then I'll just leave those around, and maybe I'll put like a spicy recipe for hot sauce or something in the back of it. But really, the whole thing that with this channel is I figure that I have a lot of knowledge about stuff. I read a lot. I read a lot about philosophy. I read a lot about self-improvement, not so much self-help. I think that self-help is like a weird phrase because a lot of those self-help people like try to come up with new weird philosophies and things, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to look at history and see what works and see comparatively with all of these different kinds of peoples and different philosophies, like where do they intersect? Where do they line up? Where's something that we can actually take away from it? And I think that this is it, guys. I think that this is really kind of it. Our thoughts create the world around us. They create what we think about. Whatever we want as goals, whenever we make our life about our goals and we really want them and they really resonate with who we are as people, if we make our life about those things and we wake up every day, we make a list of ways that we can help achieve our goals. And then if we do the physical things that it takes to just every day increments, just working toward those goals, there is no way you cannot be a success. And that's really the message behind all of it, is that you will do your goals. You will make those goals. And I think that I've been infected with this brain virus lately that tells me that everything's hopeless, that we're basically just waiting for a meteor to come down and smash into the planet and just put us all out of our misery. And it's a really bleak way to think. It's a really not a good way. I think right now we're just waiting for our society to crumble, and that's a sad thing. Our society doesn't have to crumble, and for us to, our personhood as an individual is not tied to where we are in history. And that's really the thing that I've been trying to remind myself lately, is that I don't have to feel bleak about myself just because the world is looking bleak right now. I can take care of myself. Dude, I have no muscles in these arms. But you know what? I would like to have some. And so what I'm going to do, I've been avoiding making videos about doing push-ups and things because I have to do those modified push-ups. We used to call them girl push-ups back in the day, back whenever I was in school in 1999. I have to do girl push-ups because I'm so weak in the arms, and I've been embarrassed about that. But guess what? I shouldn't be, because if I do that, then I'm doing it. I'm doing better than I was if I wasn't doing it. And that's not, I shouldn't be afraid of that. I shouldn't be embarrassed of being a failure because I'm trying something. And I think that a lot of the times I'm afraid of being embarrassed to try. You know what I mean? No need to be embarrassed at all. Exactly. There's no need to be embarrassed. Our brains tell us that. We have that. I don't know about you guys, but I have, I've had a lot of self-defeating thoughts. Tommy Scoville talks a lot about ants, those automatic negative thoughts that just kind of infest, they're all up inside your head, and they tell you the automatic negative things, and I don't like that, so I'm going to fight that. I'm going to start trying to do these things because I like doing them and sharing information that I like to share. I love philosophy and stuff. It's pretty cool, especially like Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, and what's the other one? Oh, the guy that did The Strangest Secret, Earl Nightingale. I love him too. Those guys are part of sort of like the New Thought movement back in the day. Like they were part of these guys who way back in the old times, like the captains of industry type dudes were around. Rockefeller and those guys. These guys would go to those dudes and they would just talk to them about like how they were successful and like what made them successful and the things that they thought. And these are the ideas, these are the ideas that like you just have to have a goal in mind. You have to believe that you can do it, and then you can find ways to get things done. Be a resourceful person. Being resourceful is more important than the resources that you start with. There have been people I've seen. There was a guy who took a red paper clip and traded it for a house. Not directly, but he made tiny little incremental trades where he came out ahead every single time. And he went from a paper clip to a house. He had an entire house that he traded for it. So, yeah, Charlie says he's super unfit too. I'm embarrassed about it. We don't need to be embarrassed about it. You know what I might do? I might start doing a thing on the Discord server where we can go, like, if we go into the voice chat, you can hit the camera button. And so we're all in like almost like a Zoom chat. So we could do that and then maybe do some push-ups together and some squats. I figure squats, push-ups, and then they do those, like, what are those inverted planky things? Planks. That would be good. Do some of those. I think we could do that, get in shape. If we started doing that today, by the time that we got to spring, we would be transformed. We would. A couple of years ago, I did this 100-day transformation dimensional shift thing. And the whole idea behind it was that, like, you open up a portal to a new dimension, and basically that's just visualization. You know what I mean? Like, in your mind's eye, you think, how would I like my world to be? Like, how would I like to look at myself if I look in the mirror? If I was happy with the way I looked, what would it look like? You start thinking about these things, and you open up a portal to that world in your mind's eye, and then every single day you incrementally just kind of like dig your fingernails into the universe and do what you have to do to get there. And I think that we could do that. I think that that's possible. Believing in yourself is important. Believing that it's possible is the most important part. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Who said that? It's like Eisenhower or something. I don't know. What do we got? And so I'll be talking about cool stuff like that. Also, I want to start doing more like paranormal kind of stuff. And not anything cheesy, but I would like to go around to like places in the Ozarks where I'm from and eat some spicy stuff, and then maybe try to talk to some ghosts. I used to do a show called Hot Peppers and Haunted Places, and it was sort of popular. People seem to like it. A few other channels started doing it after me, and so I thought that was kind of neat. Maybe we could start doing that again. This time of the year, it's dark most of the day. Actually, wasn't last night the darkest day of the year? It's going to start getting brighter from here on out. So maybe we can use the nighttime to our advantage and go somewhere spooky and do some of that. Maybe I could do some live streams from somewhere spooky. That might be nice too. I know that I do have some ghost hunting footage from earlier this year that I haven't posted online yet. I went to a haunted place in Aurora, Missouri. It was an old haunted hotel with a speakeasy underneath it that Al Capone used to stay at, and there have been people killed there and different things like that. So we went, we did one of those machines, the little boxes that go get out. We did one of those. A lot of footage. I took my crystal skulls just to see if maybe they would affect anything, and we didn't hear any ghosts, so maybe the crystal skulls got rid of the ghosts. I feel really bad if they did, because that's kind of a tourist spot for like ghosts and stuff. So I'd feel bad if I cleansed it and now they don't have any ghosts anymore. Yeah, Hot Peppers and Haunted Places. I thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. Ghost peppers. I figure that if there's any time that a ghost would be able to communicate with a human being, it would be whenever that human being's brain thinks that they're going to die. You know what I mean? Because those times whenever you're eating really hot stuff and you're at like an 8 or above or whatever, and you're just like trying to hold it together because it's just so hot, it's just so painful. I imagine, if there's any kind of a chance that spooky stuff would happen, I imagine it would be around that time. Yeah, that would be awesome. There are a few different places that I'd want to go. There's this old 1800s, I think it was from like the tuberculosis era. Between here, where I live in Branson, Missouri, there's a place called Busick Park, and it's like a big, I don't think it's a state park, but it's like that. It's like a big state park sort of a thing. And it's like a nature place, and they have thousands of acres. It's above a bunch of caves, and it's in these valleys. And up in the hills, there are these hiking trails, and one of them goes back to an old pond that fills up, and then there's down from the pond, there's an old cemetery because people used to live up there. There was a little town, but everybody in the town died, and so there's an old cemetery up there. And I've always wanted to go at night. And I've got footage from when I went at night, but I didn't eat anything spicy. I always thought it would be really cool to eat something spicy and try to talk to any spirits that might be out there and see if we hear anything. I also want to go looking for Bigfoot out there too, because there are things like that out here in the Ozarks. The Missouri Monster is one of them, and then the Ozarks Howler is another one. Daniel Boone saw the Ozarks Howler, or at least there's legends that Daniel Boone saw the Ozark Howler and even shot one, which is like this big, like gray bear-like creature with the dog face. And some people say it's got horns, and it makes out this loud scream. Hey, I see you. All right, man. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's good to see you planning some cool stuff. Thanks for stopping by. I will catch you on the flippy flop, bro. I hope you have a good one. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll do some more spooky stuff, and then we'll talk about more alchemy. You know, we'll do more of that. I definitely like talking about alchemy. Maybe I'll get some more alchemy tattoos. I do have this. I've got. This is a Kengstar Lemon Starburst pepper with flames on it. Now, it's just the line work. Once I get it colored in, it'll be completely obvious what it is. Here's another pepper that I got. This is Hanson's band logo. It looks like a spooky symbol, but it's really not. It's just Hanson. Take care. I see you. I see you. What else do I got here? Oh, I was going to talk about magic. See. Okay, so there are a lot of misconceptions on what I think magic is. Even Aleister Crowley said that magic is making changes in the world that are in conformity with the will. You know what I mean? So basically, like if you can make changes in your life, like if you can cause things to happen in conformity with your true will, your actual like your will, if the things that you want to happen, that's magic in whatever form that is. Now that's a pretty open definition if you think about it. Nothing paranormal about it, nothing magical or anything like that. And you know, a lot of people, myself included, would probably even say that magic is just kind of a psychological communication with your unconscious mind. The conscious mind is only aware of, you know, it's what we assume is us. We're looking around. It's the thing that sees stuff, and it is what we consider us. The unconscious mind is kind of like a little gremlin inside of our head that stores away all of our experiences and our sensory impressions and puts them in a, you know, different order based on connections and relations and neuroplasticity and things. So the idea is to just, you know, use sensory information to program our intentions into our unconscious mind so that whenever we interact with the world around us, our conscious mind is able to have an easier time to stay on task with our attention in relation to our intentions. I mean, that's pretty much it. I hope that wasn't too complicated, but hey, Jennifer's here. Hey, darling. Heck yeah. I was just talking about a little bit about magic, a little bit, and not like hoity-toity like Harry Potter magic. I'm actually talking about a very loose definition of it, and really what I'm talking about is goal setting and you know, moving forward with what you want to do in life and having self-confidence and developing a pathway to reach your goals. That's what I'm talking about. I love this Mary Poppins quote. I said it earlier. It says, "Open different doors and you may find that there's..." Oh, okay. "Open different doors and you may find a you there that you never knew was yours." So do something different. Get out of your comfort zone, and the you that you might find on the other side of that is something that you might not even have imagined that you are capable of attaining. And that's kind of cool, in my opinion. But guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I hope that you're all having a good night. I've got to actually go and get ready for work. I'm doing karaoke tonight. It is my mom's birthday, so in the comments section, you know, give my mom a happy birthday if you don't mind. She's born one day before me. And 19 years, one day and 19 years before me. And my birthday's tomorrow, so I'll be 37 years old tomorrow, believe it or not. Me, this guy, 37, I'm almost 40. Isn't that weird? But anyway, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, ICU. Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you to everybody else who decided to stop by tonight. This has been Donnie the Chili Mancer. I eat spicy food to help get my to help reach my goals. So I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. I love every single one of you. I'll try to do a birthday stream. Have a good day.